What scares you? Bugs, snakes, clowns, heights, tight spaces, disappointment, betrayal, being alone, heartbreak. How can you face your fears? Hello, Governor. This is Rekkai Steve, nupefromdaville, and we're going to get into this, the latest episode of the Acolyte. Episode 4, the mid-season finale of season 1, called Day. May has found out where Kelnaka is, and she and Kamir are on their way to kill him. She has to kill him without a weapon to appease her master. Osha is back on Coruscant at the Jedi Temple, and she decides, listen, she knows for a fact that her sister's alive. She's seen her with her own 2 eyes, but it's a little bit too much for her to handle. So now that she's cleared her name and she's not guilty, she's gonna peace out. She goes to see Jackie. They have a little conversation, they bond a little bit, and she's proceeding to leave. Meanwhile, Master Saul has this kind of argument with the council that's there, and they want to kick this up to the High Council. What is her name? Master Verdastra? She says, no, we can't let them know because they're obligated to tell the Senate. And that could, the people who are against the Jedis could use that to ruin us. So we need to keep this, hush hush on the DL, handle it ourselves. Which is an interesting point because it shows how corruption over time could have gotten into the Jedi Council, and their entire mandate has changed. And that's why things here, the way that they dress, the way that they act, is different from what we saw in the prequels and original trilogy. The sequels didn't happen. I don't know who said they did. They didn't. That also goes to show us that we'll never see Master Yoda in this because they cannot know, and probably do not know about the return of what appears to be a Sith. Long story short, May decided that now that she's seen her sister, she don't have to fulfill her obligation to the Master. Her obligation is to May. Her sister's alive, and that's really the only reason why she was on this killing spree, this revenge tour. So she ties up Kamir, she catches him in a trap, and she runs off to go tell Kelnaka, I'm turning myself into you. You can take me into the Jedis or whatever. By the time she gets to Kelnaka, he's already dead with a fresh, looks like a lightsaber wound across his chest, and it's still smoking. And May freaks out and she's like, oh my God, the Master is here. Which, how he got there so fast and don't make any sense. So I'm almost thinking Kamir is really the Master. And if you see the very last couple minutes of the episode, the Master floats in on a cloud, which maybe that's like a witch. So Mother Anastasia, or maybe another witch from the Coven. Maybe that's their, how they use the Force. Or maybe somebody else. Usually in these type of things, it's not someone we haven't seen. It's got a very Scooby-Doo-esque, crime mystery. This is definitely not Law and Order. So it should be someone that we've seen already. I don't know. That's my estimation. Anyway, when they get on planet, because Osha was leaving and Master Saul called her before she left, and he was like, I really need you to go with me. And even Osha catches, she's like, you using me as bait? He's like, yeah, pretty much. She's afraid she can't face her sister. She even asked Yord, however you say his name, listen, my sister's a killer, and I'm glad that I saw her. I'm glad she's alive, but I can't do it. I can't face her. And Jackie, again, with some wisdom, says, or maybe it's Master Saul. One of them have a conversation with her, and they say Master Saul says to her something around about, when you get there, you're not facing May. You're facing your past. And then he tells her that he has a whole bunch of stuff to tell her when they find May and get her safely to the ship. Which just, something happened on Brendock that we didn't see. Even though we got the flashback last week, something's off. But this whole episode, right up until just before the Master showed up, Osha was scared to death of facing her past, of facing her biggest fears. She saw her sister die in front of her. Her entire coven, her mother, everyone was killed. And from last time she saw her sister went batshit crazy and tried to kill her so that she wouldn't leave. How do you face your fears? I don't know. My best estimation is, if that's something you're really interested in, do a Google search. Hell, that's what I do. When I started this off, I started talking about, what are your fears? And almost everything on there was in my fears. And it's crazy because I don't think of myself as a fearful person. However, Will Smith has a quote where he said, if you want success, success is just on the other side of that thing that you're most afraid of. And I get it. But if bugs are one of the things I'm most afraid of, I don't think success is on the other side of bugs. I don't. I don't think I have to brave a whole lot of bugs to be like, that's one of them fears that, listen, just bugs don't do it for me. I burned the whole house down. Snakes, I don't really do snakes. I mean, I'm not really fearful of them, but I just, you keep the yours, I keep the mine. I'm not fearful of clowns. I know when the first It movie came out, it did it for clowns in America, or maybe across the world. They don't bother me. Just keep your ass over there. I'm good. I'm not afraid of heights, but I'm afraid of falling. That whole feeling you get in the pit of your stomach, can't do it. Tight spaces, can't do it. It might be one of those things because as I've gotten fluffy, if you will, just, yeah, can't do it. The other stuff, disappointment, betrayal, being alone, heartbreak. I don't know if I'm afraid of those, but I definitely don't want no part of those. I've had enough heartbreak, betrayal, disappointments. And right now I'm currently alone, so for you to overcome your fears, to face your fears, first you have to change how you see your fear. How do you see your fear? It doesn't, like for me, bugs, I see them, and even though they might be over there, my mind first goes to them crawling all over me and I lose it. Boom. And I understand you have to change how you see your fear. Make yourself comfortable with your fear. Get in the same space. Get comfortable with your fear. I don't know what that means to you. And again, it's something that I'm going to have to work on. I don't know. Start with the easiest. If you have multiple fears, start with the easiest one. Because once you have success and you can conquer at least that one fear, you will know that it's doable. Allow yourself to feel the fear. Believe it or not, fear is actually healthy. And I have a problem with people who say that they don't have fear. Because to me, not having fear makes you reckless. Makes you stupid. And you do things unnecessarily because you have no fear. I don't want to be around a dude who's not afraid to die. You're going to do some dumb shit. And it's not that I'm afraid to die. I feel like I have made peace with my maker and I'm prepared for the other side. And I still have work to do. I know that. But if I were to go today, I think I would be good. But I don't want to go today. And I'm not going to put myself in situations to go today. If you start with the easiest, work your way up through your fears, if that's something that you want to do. You know, Anna Singh says, never trust your fears because they don't know your strength. And that's what it's about. How strong are you? You cannot let fear rule your life. I do think that there's a place for healthy fear in your life because it can keep you sharp, it can keep you alert. But fear is that type of thing that keeps people shut in their house and afraid to interact with other people. There's new anxieties that come over people, and part of the being neurodivergent is, you don't want to fool with people. You are way more internalized and way more of an introvert than an extrovert. It's just like you don't really want to fool with people. And I get it, because sometimes people are awful. Just awful. And then you're lucky enough to have a community like myself and Syntell and the Geekish Network, where we got great people in our network and our tribe. We do. I'm gonna leave you with this. This is a quote that I absolutely love. The first time I heard it, I loved it. And it's actually by Nelson Mandela. I'm not going to tell you who Nelson Mandela is. I think that you should know. If you don't, Google that man. Look him up. Not all heroes wear capes. He said that I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. A brave man is not the one who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Being courageous does not mean that you don't have fear. It means in the right moments at the right times, you can channel that inner strength that you have to do what is necessary to conquer fear. That doesn't mean that you jump in front of a bus and save a kid, but I would hope that you would rise to the occasion and not pull out your cell phone and tape it. That's where we're at today in this society, in this culture. Be better. And if you need help with facing your fears, combating your fears, seek professional help. Surround yourself with people who are interested in a better you. This is Rekkai Steed, nupefromdaville. Like, comment, share. And if you haven't, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. Check the link in the description for the reaction that Syntell and I did. As I always say, it's got to be about this. But it's also got to be about this.